Hello, everyone. By now, you already know me. You're welcome to Change the Culture. I am sitting here with a special guest today. His name is Monte C. Wilson. Some of us like to call him MC. And
Yes.
is that all right? We can do that, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, thank you for coming. I know you came a long way, and I'm honored to have you
hmm
here and spend this time with me. I'm just glad that he's here. He's a really good friend of mine and
hmm
just really a stand-up person, someone who I really admire for all of his accomplishments, for just being, who he is. So I really appreciate you coming all the way out
Oh,
here
it was my pleasure.
to sit here
hmm
and spend your time with me and chop it up. So
Yeah.
I know him to be a filmmaker, a producer, a
hmm
videographer, very creative
Right.
and just excellent at what he does. And so I'm happy to have you here. Like I said, first, how was your day going? How's your day going?
My day is going pretty good. Work was pretty pleasant. I usually kind of keep it light on Fridays on purpose. So
Okay.
I work harder on Thursdays, so I don't have to do as much on Fridays.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
how it goes?
that's how
Okay,
it goes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whew, I don't know. My week was long, and I'm just glad that it's Friday, and I'm just sitting here and being able to do what I love to do,
hmm
which is just talk to people and have great conversations about life, about what we do, and how we affect this world every
Yeah.
day
Yeah.
when we wake up.
hmm
So, one of the things that Monty has done that I have really just loved is the fact that he has produced a movie. And I've been knowing you for a long time, so I knew when you started producing
Right.
it.
Right.
It
Right.
took a
Right.
little
That
while.
movie took a while.
Took a
Yeah.
little
Uh
while,
huh.
but you're from Bakersfield,
Correct.
right? And what I love about it is that you literally, like Bakersfield is small, and you literally went in and just like took a lot of the key people that we know in the community and made
hmm
actors out of them, and I loved it.
yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about the movie. What's it called?
That movie was called Super Hustle.
Okay.
And I got that title because I'm a fan of old school 70s black exploitation flicks and sort of things. So I got the
Okay.
word hustle from that, and then I got super from another movie that I remember back in the day that was called Super Fuzz.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say Superfly or something. Wasn't there a
There
movie
was
called
Superfly,
Superfly?
but I
Okay.
got it from Super Fuzz.
Super Fuzz.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I just put those two names together, and then I came up with Super Hustle.
I
I'm not
like
very
it.
good with names, so
No, that was a good one.
it took me a while.
I liked it. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what inspired you to even write a movie? I mean, a lot of us say, "Oh, we should write a movie about that," but we don't
Right.
actually write the movie. And so,
I had been
how did?
around cameras my entire life. My dad was a photographer,
Oh, okay.
so I had always been around cameras. I actually went to college. I have a degree in communications, so I worked in television for like 25 years at different TV stations in Bakersfield, Las Vegas, and I worked in Fox LA,
Okay. I
Fox
think when I met
11.
you, you were working at NBC
Yeah, I was working
out
at
there.
NBC back in Bakersfield, but I worked at Fox 11 here, like in the early 2000s,
Okay. Okay.
here in LA. So so it was always something I wanted to do, something bigger. So when I was working in Vegas, I started doing short films, and that's
Hmm.
back way before YouTube and that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah, way before YouTube. So I started doing short films. I was doing music videos way back in like 94, 95, something like that, really early.
Wow. That was
Yeah,
when the music videos were good.
right, right, right. When people didn't, not everyone had a video camera like they do now. Like
Right.
everybody has a camera now because you have your phone.
It was like the
Very least you can
camcorders.
shoot it on your phone. Yeah. So back then it was crazy. So I would shoot things back then, and there was no internet. I remember when they first started putting video on the internet, it was like so hard to get it on there. It was
Mhm.
just finally one of those things you'd be like, ah, never mind, because it was like people had dial up. Remember? So
Right.
you
Oh my
couldn't watch.
God.
Yeah, you
You
had
had to
to.
plug it in
Wow,
and
yeah, it was crazy. You had to shrink the movie down so tiny, and the quality was so bad, it wasn't even worth doing it back then.
wow.
So I mean, I evolved over over time of doing a lot of different things like that, going from short films, music videos, short films, commercials, and that sort of thing. So I just grabbed the old script that I had wrote that has been sitting around. I dusted it off and I made some changes and kind of tailored it to the people that I knew at the time and the places that I can get a hold of, and that's when I, just went
Mhm.
ahead and started shooting it.
Did they teach you script writing like in college, or was it something you kind of just learned or read about on your own
I
and
did read a
research?
book. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. It was a book. It was called Screenplay, and I remember the guy named Sid Field. And I
Okay.
highly recommend that book if you were a aspiring screenwriter,
Hmm.
something like that, to get that book because it really just breaks down the process, the formulas, the how to get you from A to B or A to Z. And
Mhm.
it's a very small book, so it's a very quick read to straight to the point.
Okay,
No fluff.
good.
Yeah,
That's good to know because I'm sure a lot of people will. I mean, we have these aspirations, we just don't know how to get
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And just for me, like I said, seeing you actually write it, do it, produce it. I knew you through the whole process. I
Hmm.
didn't know it was old and you just did it off, but I remember when you were actually putting it together, filming it.
Yeah,
I would call you and be like, I got to film today, or I got to get these people together, and
yeah.
life was going on at the same
Right.
time, and
And
you know,
it's tough. It's tough to shoot a film like that on a low budget like that, with you using your friends.
hmm
Because if anybody's thinking about doing it, I can give you a couple of things that's going to end up happening to you.
hmm
One of the things that's going to happen is everyone's be excited at the beginning. So I would advise that you can shoot as fast as you can and get most
hmm
of it done at the very beginning.
while the energy is
Yeah,
high.
yeah, yeah. Why the energy is hot? Because once the energy gets low, it's hard to get those people to show up. You know what I mean?
I bet they happy they showed up now when they see the
Right,
final
right, right. At
product.
the end of the day, yeah. But at the end of
Everybody
the day,
like,
I'm just saying
wow.
that just try to get that big bulk out of the way, especially if it's a bunch of different people in your film. And I would try
Right.
to keep as less people as possible too, because
Mhm.
actually the film that I shot, the Super Hustle film, um, it wasn't really the movie that I wanted to do at the time.
Mhm.
I had an idea to do something a lot smaller, a lot less people, a lot less locations. There's something I
Mhm.
could do easy, but I had that script and I was having trouble writing another
Mhm.
script.
Mhm.
So I just was like, I'll just do this one.
Make it
So it was,
happen.
yeah, it was a lot to take on. I knew it would be. Yeah.
About how long did you say from the time you actually went ahead and started filming it to when you finished it? I know it
Oh,
was some.
well,
I know it was some time.
yeah, it was a lot of
Yeah.
years. Okay, the reason why it
Mhm.
was a lot of years is because and I'll go ahead and tell you the real reason. Um, I shot most of it, got probably like 80% of it done or so,
Mhm.
and then I went through a divorce.
Mhm.
So when I went through the divorce, I put it aside
Right.
for a long time.
Yeah. That's why I
For
said life
some
is
years, yeah,
happening.
I put it alongside for some years. So then once I
Mhm.
picked it back up, it probably took me another 6 months to get it
Right.
completely shot,
Mhm.
edited, all the music placed on, and all that sort of
Mhm.
thing.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
That can slow things down.
Yeah, it slows some things down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it just goes to show, like even with my career, I didn't do it in the like exact amount of time you're supposed to do it in. It
Hmm.
took time. Life happened. I became a single mom. I mean,
Correct.
stuff was going on, but it just shows if you stick with stuff and just be persistent,
Right.
it'll happen. And so I was just glad to see when it came out. And is
Right.
there a favorite part of the movie that you love?
Ooh, that's a good question. You know what's funny? We by the time the movie came out, people wasn't doing DVDs as much, but there was people still asking for DVDs. So I did do a DVD, and I actually did a version on the DVD where it's like director's commentary.
Mhm.
So me and the main character Alex, we watched the movie and we talked about each scene, what it took to shoot it,
Okay.
and all that. So that's very interesting. But I would say the chase scene at the end probably my favorite. Yeah, I
Okay.
have a chase scene at the end because remember I said I was a fan of them old school flicks because
Mhm.
it was a if you go back and watch Let's Do It Again with Sidney Poitier and Bill
Oh, okay.
Cosby,
Okay. I do
at
need
the
to watch
very
that.
end of
Yeah.
that movie, there's
Uh-huh.
a chase scene where the bad guys are
Mhm.
chasing them through the streets and all that, and they end up inside the police station.
Okay.
Yeah, I put a chase scene very similar to that at the end of my movie.
Okay. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
take a look at
Trust
that.
nobody these days. The whole town is corrupted.
Now, if we gonna do this, we need to move, and I mean fast.
I ain't running from the big bad. He don't know about the hustle. He think he gon' blow my money. I'm out here super hustling every day. I ain't running from the big bad. Well, on that note, I'm gonna go handle my business.
So
See what that looks like.
the chase scene was fun.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
it right there. Okay. All
I
right.
laugh at that every time I watch it.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, you did the movie. You have kids too. So the kids, I'm sure
Right,
that was
right. I
a
have three
lot
daughters.
going
Yeah.
through the divorce
Hmm.
and dealing with the kids and being a father, a stand up dad right here. So I always commend you for that.
Yeah.
And what did you? So tell the people what the movie got picked up on. You ended up. How did
It
you get it out there?
originally was on Amazon Prime, and then when few years went by, when Tubi TV came along, I
Mhm.
ended up getting picked up by Tubi TV.
Okay. I'm trying to remember, did I watch it on Prime or Tubi?
You probably watched it on Prime. Because
Yeah, I think I did.
Tubi came around a couple of
Hmm.
years later. Yeah,
Right.
probably
Okay.
almost 2 or 3 years later. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it was so cool to
yeah,
see the people I know and that I, dealt with just
right.
like on big screen, and they did
Yeah,
a good job.
yeah.
I told them to cast me, but we working on that. We're
Right.
working on
Yeah,
that.
you'd be surprised the talent because you'll have those people that do, hey man, because
Hmm.
I would always have people to be like, oh man, when you gonna put me in something, that sort of thing. So you have those people, then you have some people you got to drag it out of them a little bit. But
Right.
if you take the time and practice a little bit and tell them, hey, we can do this over and over again. You can get what you want out if you direct them correctly.
Right.
You get what you want out of most people. Yeah.
I feel like that too. I'm not a director, but I always kind of envision myself as a director.
Hmm.
I try to be creative and look at things. And I'm like, if they do this like that, if they just turn this way, I'm
Yeah.
such a stickler for details.
Right.
I think you can,
Yeah.
direct it like that. I just love that you are actually. I'm living
Yeah.
vicariously through you in that way.
Right.
But
And you don't have to like micromanage all the scenes and every
some
single
of it is
thing that you
natural, and
right. Some people
yeah.
could just play that part. I mean, it does help
Mhm.
to cast people in parts that they're pretty close to their personality.
Mhm.
I do that a lot. A couple times, this new movie that I'm just working on right now, I did grab some people and take them out of their comfort zone and like,
Mhm.
okay, you're gonna play this guy that's totally different, than your real character,
Hmm.
and he did really really good. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
he did really,
Yeah.
really. But I knew he would. So you can do that, but most of the time, if you pick people that's pretty close to the character they are, and you don't have to micromanage. Like the script that I write,
Mhm.
I'm not the type of person that you have to say it exactly like I wrote it,
Right. Right.
uh, because I'll write purposely a little proper, right?
Mhm.
More proper than I know you're gonna speak,
Right.
because I don't want to put a slang word in there that you might be uncomfortable with,
Yeah, and that's even more corny, but
yeah, or some ebonics or something that you're not.
right,
I'll put it regular, and then I
right.
say, hey, you can put the ebonics in
Do
there if
your
you want.
own
Yeah,
ebonics,
right.
right?
If
Yours
you
is
want,
probably
right.
over the top
Yeah,
ebonics
yeah.
anyway, so
I
just
will.
go and
Yeah,
work.
I
Yeah,
will write
flow
it
with
in
it.
like I was writing it as an
I love
English
it.
paper. So I
Oh,
am
okay.
going
See, that's a
to,
good tip.
and you can say,
Yeah,
and hey man, but you can say I'm gonna,
yeah.
but
Right.
but on the script it'll say I
Yeah,
am
I think
going
that's a
to.
great tip
Yeah,
because if you overwrite it, that can make it weird.
yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah.
let them kind of just do their thing, and it's funny. One thing about that movie. Uh, I didn't write the N word in that movie. Not one single N word in there, right?
Mhm.
Because I remember
I already know where you're going with this.
this was my goal. This is my goal. I said to myself, I'm not gonna go too hoodie with this movie. Not too, let's call it not
Uh-huh.
too ghetto with this movie.
Okay.
And this is a movie that I could show my grandmother. If my grandmother asked
Yeah.
me to watch this, she could watch it, right?
Mhm.
So there was no N words in it. And after it was all said and done, a couple people said, and I kept letting it
Right.
go. It might have been like 30 of them,
Of course.
right?
How can you not like with this?
So it was about 30 of them in there. So when I was editing, I was like, oh man, it's like 30 of them in here.
Right.
I actually was able to edit 29 of them out.
Wow.
Yeah. There was only one that I could not get out.
Wow.
And I
That's
tried.
crazy.
It was because he said, what I mean? He slurred it
He put
so,
it in there like
he kind of slurred it. And it was the way he said it so fast that it was like, man, this nigga, you know what I mean? And
it
I
was like
couldn't,
one word.
yeah, I couldn't cut it out. But it was
Wow.
the way he said it was kind of cool.
Right. Oh, and one.
Yeah, one is not bad.
You can have one
Yeah, there's
spot.
one in the new movie that I got right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I
All
wrote that
right.
one in there though. So yeah,
Wow.
that's one in the movie my new movie. So
Wow. So the movie Super Hustle was it's on Tubi right now.
correct.
So if I want to go watch, I can just go.
Yeah, if you want to watch it right now, you can
Yeah.
type in Super Hustle and check it out. I actually shot it in 2010, but it wasn't
Wow.
released in 2018.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yep. I
so it
remember.
looks a little older just because it was shot in 2010. But you might look at their phones, you might see that they don't have iPhone 12s or nothing like that.
But that's cool
Right,
too. I
right.
like when you see the old school stuff
Yeah,
because
I don't think
sometimes you got
there's.
to go find that stuff if you want to make it dated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think there's flip phones in it. No, but might be some.
2010, I think I had an Android
Right, right.
or a BlackBerry.
But the small Androids
Yeah,
though,
real
like the really,
little.
really
When I
ones.
look back at it, I was like, this phone is me.
Yeah, yeah. It
Gosh,
was that sort of
it
thing.
didn't seem that small at the time, but
But yeah.
yeah. So one thing I always love about you is just the way that you've supported me,
Hmm.
and so I'm all about going back, especially since I'm doing this, talking to people and people that inspire me. I want you to inspire others. You remember I started Gospel Soup Cafe. I mean, I came with that idea so long ago, before 2010,
Hmm.
when we met, and you helped me to build a platform. I don't know if you remember
I
that.
remember still doing
It
something. I
was
don't
it
remember
was
exactly what it was. I
it was
just.
really the birth of everything, and it
Mhm.
really it was on like Ning, I think, or something like that.
Yes,
Called
yes, yes.
I don't even think that it lasted that long, that platform.
Hmm.
It was similar to like a Facebook. Like I had my own Facebook for Gospel Soup Cafe,
I remember
and
that
I had a
now.
lot of followers, and then I kind of let it go, just like we do when life happens, and was helping other people write their blogs and stuff like that. But I appreciate you for that, and you're always my go-to for
Yeah,
creative things. And so here we
right.
are in, what is it, 2023,
Yeah.
post pandemic, still rocking.
Hmm.
So but tell me about, so you did that movie, and that was your first actual production, right? In that way, in like a
Yeah.
movie,
Well,
a full movie.
I had worked on another person's film before that too,
Hmm.
though. Yeah. So
Okay.
I had just shot a feature film before,
Hmm.
shot and edited and did the audio and the lighting,
Right.
where he
Right.
wrote and directed it. Yeah, but
What do you use to edit? Is
right
it like
now,
how do you just, so you film it and you go back? Because I know my
yeah,
editing is very subpar, but yours is movie editing. So it's like a certain program you have to
right
use,
now I'm
or
using DaVinci Resolve
okay,
is
I've
the
heard of
name of it.
DaVinci.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the hot new thing right now, DaVinci Resolve. As far as editing, DaVinci Resolve was always the industry standard for color correction or color
Mhm.
grading.
Mhm.
But then people would color grade their footage and then go take it to Adobe Premiere or Final Cut Pro or something like that. But
Mhm.
now DaVinci Resolve has its editing software, color correction, the audio, the what do you call it, the animation software.
Mhm.
It's all in one.
You did every aspect. So you
Right, I did
filmed
everything.
it, you wrote it, you filmed it, you directed it, you produced it, you edited
Right,
it.
I shot it and I did the lighting. I'm a one man
Yeah.
band.
So that's what's up. And all of this
That's what's
started
different. That's what's different
from
about me.
you being able to read a book on how to write a script. Because I imagine you have to write the script before anything, right?
Yeah. Well,
So
but
you
I
read the
didn't read it.
book.
I didn't even learn how to write a script till like 20 years, 15 years down the line, though.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I said, I had been filming and shooting since I was like 14.
Right. So it all came together.
Right, I was doing that since the 80s.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So let's talk about. So I understand. I hadn't talked to you in a while, and I understand you went through some like hard time with the filming, and you guys got into some trouble or something like that. Are you okay with
Oh, oh no,
telling
no, no.
telling
Yeah,
us
that
what
was
happened
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah, yeah. Talk about that.
what happened? I think you told me you were filming a video
Oh
or
yeah, I was
something.
shooting a music video, and I actually got arrested while shooting a music video.
So hold on, Monty arrested. He's not the arrested type of guy.
No,
Like
no,
straight
that was it
laced,
was different.
professional.
Yeah.
You know.
It was what's crazy about it. If those of you who know, if you're a black male in America, the police, especially in the city that I'm from, I would say probably 15 to 20 different times that the police has attempted to arrest me.
Mm,
Meaning, walk up on me
mhm.
and try to say, "Hey, what are you doing? Blah, 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 what's in your pocket?" Da da da. I didn't have anything, but what I call that attempting to arrest me. They're looking to arrest me. They
Mhm.
couldn't because I wasn't doing anything, and then of course they couldn't arrest
Right,
me
the
because
usual.
right.
But more so
Yeah,
probably in Bakersfield. I was out there, and it's a
yeah,
different place, guys.
yeah. It's a
It's a
different
different
place.
kind. It's one of those places in the United States where you're like, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
racism still does exist.
you're right,
That's
right, right.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so, anyways, I was arrested because the police just. I actually here's the messed up part. Just the interesting part. I actually was not shooting a music video at the time that I got arrested, though.
Okay.
The guy hired me the guy that did music videos before had hired me to shoot stills for an album cover.
Mhm.
So what happens is I get there and they're waiting on another guy to pull up that had a car that they were going to shoot in front of the car, and then we were going to leave this area and go somewhere else, and
Mhm.
in front of a brick wall, wherever. We never picked wherever, so we were waiting on the guy to show up.
Okay.
I asked the guy because I was still shooting Super
Mhm.
Hustle.
Mhm.
I said, "Hey, I need someone to answer the phone and pretend and just say a few lines of this Super Hustle
Oh,
movie.
you needed like a little part
Right.
done. Okay.
So I was setting up my cameras to actually shoot a piece of that movie
Mm-hmm.
when the police pulled up. When the police pulled up, one of the kids in the yard, it was like 15 people in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
They searched everybody, and somebody had a gun,
Mm.
and so they charged everyone in the yard with the same crime.
Wait, what? Like a front? What kind of yard? You know,
We were in
front,
the front. We were
somebody's front
inside. We
yard.
were inside a front yard. So they came
Oh,
onto private property,
mm.
searched everyone,
Which is a
and
no.
right, yeah, they broke a lot of rules. But if you're ever in a situation like that, there is no rules.
Right.
I mean, yeah, they'll break all the rules, but good luck proving it later.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they broke a lot of
Yeah, you
different.
just comply and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're
yeah,
supposed to.
right. You comply like you're supposed to. One dummy had a gun, and they charged me with 4 felonies. Yeah, 4 felonies.
Felonies?
Right. They charged me with all the same 4 felonies
How?
that he got. They charged me with the 4 felonies of the same dude. Yeah.
Well, what did he get 4 felonies? What was the four?
The
Four felonies from one gun,
the
or
4 felonies that they charged me with was I was a criminal street gang member carrying a loaded firearm. What was the other 3? I don't know if that was. They charged me with being a criminal street gang member, carrying a loaded firearm. I can't remember what the other 2 were. It was something similar to that though.
but okay, so there were all these people. So did
It
everybody
was
get
probably like
charged?
15 people.
Everybody got charged the same thing,
Yeah,
or
everybody got charged the same thing. They even grabbed 2 people from across the street.
not? They
Like
went and got
I
extra
kid you
people.
not. I kid you not. They grabbed 2 dudes from across the street and pulled them in.
All Negroes.
Come over here and put them in the yard and charged them with the same 2 things. They wasn't even in the yard with us.
All us.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
That's how they did it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I went through that. It was.
So how'd that play out?
I ended up. They ended up dropping my charges, but the part that was crazy though, once they figured out that that they messed up and they probably shouldn't have arrested me because so many people called the police station the next
Oh,
day.
of course. Like, what you doing with
Yeah.
MC? He's not
Right.
about that.
Now
Yeah.
you think they would have did what? Come and apologize, right? What do you think they did? Instead of once they found out, like, yo, when they knew they shouldn't have, they knew who I was. They knew that I wasn't a criminal street gang member,
Right.
so they knew that in the first
But at
place.
that point, did they take you to the
Yeah.
station and
Yeah,
book
no,
you?
no. You don't go to the station. When that happens, you go to the jail.
So you went to jail.
You go to the jail, they book you, they process you, they give you your piece of paperwork with your date on it to appear directly in court. So a lot of people don't realize
In
that.
jail though.
Yeah.
So you was in jail?
I was in jail.
And that's when people were calling next morning. You were in there by that time.
They knew that I was in there and people were calling us. Yeah.
And they didn't, of course they did not apologize.
Oh no, this is what they did. The next day, they came to my place, not the dude who had the gun, not all the other dudes. They came to my place with a search warrant and probably like 20 police and searched my apartment, tore my whole apartment apart. I had bailed out by that time.
So you was at home. They came with a search warrant.
Right.
Tore up your house.
Right. Because now they got to see the thing is, now they got to find something on me now.
Because now it's almost like kind of like they put more attention on you. Like,
now they got to clean up what they just did.
They got to substantiate this.
Yeah, they got to clean up what they just did.
And you can't trust them.
No, so they took all my camera equipment. They took every piece of camera equipment I had. They took all my hard drives, every flash drive, every whatever, and kept them for probably 3 months.
They did like a Donald Trump.
Yeah, they basically did a Donald Trump. Right. Only I was really innocent.
Yeah. Right. Well,
only I was
proven. Yeah.
They kept all my stuff for about 3 months, and they finally gave it back to me and was just like, "Yeah, here you go."
Oh, well, they gave it back. That's good because you got some major equipment.
They kept all my.
You got the real cameras, y'all.
Right, so I couldn't make no extra dough. I had little side hustles that I always keep on my books. Yeah. Couldn't do nothing for 3 months, and finally got my stuff back. And they said, "Here you go." And I was like, "Well, whatever happened to the? Oh yeah, we're doing an investigation. Yeah, whatever." And then they just gave me all my stuff back finally.
And then they just end up dropping the charges, or you had
to
to
actually dropped
go to
the
court?
charges. Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness! 4 felonies. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? Yes. No more felonies.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, you'd be the last person I put forth
Right.
match up with 4 felonies.
Yeah,
But
it was
thank God
four. I
it
can't remember the other ones, but I know criminal street gang member carrying a loaded firearm was the one that was the
criminal
most
street gang.
ridiculous one. Yeah,
Lord have mercy. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I can't.
Bakersfield was no joke. Like I was there in Bakersfield when Obama won the election.
Mm,
And I swear I wanted to go home so bad, which is LA, where they were celebrating the
yeah.
street and crying across the world. In Bakersfield,
Oh,
do you remember that day?
you should have been there during the Black Lives Matter part. What's going on?
Oh
Oh, it
yeah,
was
no, I didn't.
crazy. Like
Oh
every
wow.
single protest, like the Black Lives Matter was doing, they had
Mhm.
a anti-protest that we love the police
Anti.
right across the street. Yeah,
Oh, that's where all that, because I saw that on the news,
yeah,
different
yeah,
places they were going through all that. Wow. Yeah, no, but I just remember going to the grocery store because I was like, I want a paper today because Obama won, first black
yeah.
president. Oh my God, I can't even believe it. Nobody could. And I remember driving on the street in Bakersfield, and I swear I felt like every person I saw had on dark sunglasses. And I lived in like the west side, the other side of town, so where it was more like,
Yeah,
the other persuasion. And I went to the grocery store and I got those newspapers and put them on the thing,
yeah,
and the lady the lady was like mad. I'm like, what?
yeah.
We're supposed to be
They
celebrating.
drive around. This the type of
It was
place
like a
where
funeral.
yeah, this is the type of place where they drive around with the big, huge American flags on the
Yeah.
big 4x4
Oh
trucks. It's
yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Oh yeah. I heard a
right.
few ends out the trucks and all that
Yeah,
while I was there. So
and like I say, in this, you got to realize this too. Okay, we live in California. California is a Democratic state,
mhm.
but Bakersfield is in Kern County, and Kern County
Kern County.
is a Republican stronghold for
Yeah.
years. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that just lets you know that it's like being
Like Orange
like in the
County.
South, even though you're in California.
I
So
noticed, and it's so crazy because it's so close. It's not
Yeah,
far.
right.
I met a lot of us out there too, and it was just an interesting place. I had never been there before I
hmm
moved, and just a new world, just right
yeah,
there
it's
over
a
the
yeah,
grapevine.
it's about what 800,000 people there. So it's not a tiny town like people
Right?
think, like a little cow town,
Yeah.
but it just has a way smaller
Mhm.
feel.
Yeah.
And as
But yeah,
bad as we were talking, it's not crazy. Like
I actually went back when I got home to go
I
to the
remember that.
White House party.
I
We used
remember
to
you
have
there.
some
I
fun.
remember you there.
Yeah, I bet.
I remember you. I was kind of surprised to see you there.
Right. I showed up and
Just
yes,
yeah.
that was just, the white out parties were the thing. So I did go back for that. That was definitely a part of our culture there that was,
hmm
it was good. It was good to
Yeah.
have that. So before we close out, let's talk about this new movie you got going on.
hmm
Tell me about it.
This new movie came about. I've been meditating lately, like in the morning
Oh
and the
really? Me
night. Right,
too.
right. So as I was meditating, I came up with this idea to do a movie about a guy being hypnotized, and I didn't know exactly what it was, but I just knew it was going to be about a guy.
Okay.
The main character was going to somebody to get hypnotized for like therapy sort of thing.
Okay.
You know how you go to get hypnotized to stop smoking
Yeah, I've
or
heard of it. I heard it really
maybe
works.
depression, whatever, something like that. So I said,
Okay.
okay, I came up with a guy who was a writer. He had writer's block,
Mhm.
and he goes to a hypnotist to get worked on, so he can break his writer's block.
Okay, that
Yeah,
sounds like a great concept.
right. But a lot of things happen. You know what I mean? It's
Uh-huh.
not just about that. It's not
Right. Well,
boring.
I
It's
get
not
it.
that boring. Yeah.
No, I
It's
get.
just
I can. I got a creative mind too,
right,
so I'm
right.
going with it.
It's
Like,
a little
okay,
mystery.
yeah.
There's a twist at the end. There's some drama. And I didn't do this on purpose, but it kind of worked this way. I kind of it the main character, the guy who's being hypnotized, his wife is pretty much a narcissist.
Oh, you must put a narcissist
Right,
to
right,
make it
right, right.
interesting.
She's on his
For those of
she
us
is
that
on
know,
his
we
what
know.
you see this movie, she is on his head the whole movie.
Wow.
And I don't I kind of did this subconsciously, I think.
Wonder what inspired that.
I know, and it's like I didn't set out to be like, oh, I'm gonna make his wife a
Yeah.
narcissist and blah 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 blah. It just like it just comes some kind of way. It just happened.
Yeah. How would you think of a narcissist? You wouldn't know anything about that,
No,
would you?
no.
We'll talk about
Yeah,
that
his
on another
wife is a
show.
narcissist, so she's on his behind, and yeah, so he goes to get
Okay.
hypnotized. There's a nice little twist, a little mystery involved, and it. I haven't came up with an exact title for this, but
Mm,
I got one in my head, so I'm not gonna reveal it now, just in case
okay.
it's not the right one. But yeah, I got one that's probably about 90%.
Okay. Are you done with the script?
No, I've shot the whole movie.
Oh,
This
you
mo-
shot the
yeah,
whole
this movie
movie?
has been all shot. It's been edited,
Wow.
and I'm
Okay.
just doing the music right now. Actually,
Wow, that's
yeah.
great.
There's a little bit of there's some voiceover in it. I
Okay.
really liked the movie Devil in the Blue Dress
Okay.
with Denzel Washington,
Right. Right.
right? And I like the way he narrated that movie. So this movie
Mhm.
has a similar narration to that.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that's a good thing because then you can kind of feel something familiar about it, like,
right,
oh, that
right.
kind of, and then you mix it up,
Yeah,
right?
you really
I
get
like
to know
that.
the character. You're gonna really be able to get to
I love
feel
that.
this character, the way I built this character. And you gotta, you always need somebody to root for when you're watching a movie.
Hmm.
So yeah, you'll be able to really root for this guy.
I'm
Yeah, done.
looking forward to that. That sounds like that's a whole different concept than Super
Yeah,
Hustle.
completely. At this point in time in this era, is very easy to do. Um, so if you have a film and just Google aggregators or film distributors and read their guidelines. It's very upfront. The money that you make is very upfront
Hmm.
now. Where now most of them do like a 80-20 split, so you get 80% of the
Right.
money, and they
Okay.
get 20%, and that's what it is.
That's dope.
Yeah,
So
and you
that's
can see
something.
the printout, and you can see exactly what.
So it's not hard to do.
No, it's not as hard to do as you think. So if you think that's holding you back, don't let that hold you back.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. And thank you for coming here. I thank you for being here. I just love all the wisdom that you gave about the
Mm.
industry because somebody wants to know that, and somebody needs to take that idea about a movie to actually doing it because it seems like we need so much more good entertainment out
Yeah.
there. I'm like flipping through everything trying to find something good to watch, and I want to see more of us, on the screen. And
Right.
I commend you for everything that you've done. And so when Monty comes back, we're gonna meet again. We're gonna talk and chop it up about some. We're gonna get his personal business probably a little bit.
Yes.
We're gonna find out about what's
There's a little
behind
bit
the
there.
businessman, Monty. Because you're a single man, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about this.
Yes.
We're
I'll
gonna
be
chop. We're
single
gonna
when I
chop this
come
up.
back too.
Maybe. No, I'm joking. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we love having you. Have a blessed rest of your day.
Peace.